G'day, chat. I I seem to be live. Okay. Looks like it's working now. Hello, chat. Hello. We are continuing with Please Be Happy. We're gonna finish the final chapter today. Did I set the right latency? I did. Good, okay. Hello. Alright, let's start the game. So, we've only got chapter 5 left, so this will probably be about a 5-hour stream. You're not ready for it to be over? Oh my god, yeah, that's how I felt on my first playthrough, and I'm starting to feel it again.
Please be happy.
Okay.
How far did we get last time?
We got up to chapter 5 last time. Oh god, okay. Let's go. The familiar jingle of the bell house's door greets me as I walk in for what could be the last time. Once Aspen starts working at the new location next week, I won't have much reason to visit this one anymore. The scent of baking bread and brewing coffee, mixed with the clean earthiness of all the plants, is something that I'll miss too.
Hey! Welcome to the Bell House! Oh, it's Miho!
Hey, Lena.
She tilts her head over her shoulder to yell back towards the kitchen.
Aspen! Your girlfriend's here!
Oh! There's a muffled sound from the back, and a couple of other patrons turn to look at the source of the shout. Lena ignores them entirely. I'd fucking beat her ass if she pulled that shit on me.
She'll be right out.
Thanks.
Lena will also be moving over to the new location when it opens. Aspen told me she got to pick which staff members she wanted to invite to the new store, but she doesn't want Lena to know that. She never live it down. Since there's no one else in line, I lean against the counter to talk with Lena while I wait for Aspen.
I was just thinking about how I'm gonna miss this place. It must be like that for you too, right?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe I'll miss it when I get there. But why get a head start on that when I've still got another week here?
Good point.
I'm sure Lena and I have different feelings about the Bell House anyway. I have a lot of special, treasured memories here. But for her, it's just part of her routine. Kind of like how the library is important to both Aspen and me, but not in the same way. Aspen herself comes out from the kitchen, carrying a small plate with a strawberry croissant on it. Croissant! Sorry. Lena locks on instantly.
Well, you still got croissants left?
Not anymore. I was saving this one for Miho.
Poggers.
Wow. Abusing your powers already?
It's not the first time. Besides, I've noticed we go through blueberry muffins suspiciously fast when you're working the counter.
Oh, dang it. I thought I was being sneaky.
Not sneaky enough, so shh.
Aspen puts a finger to her lips as she hands me the illicit treat.
Wow, it's been forever since I've had stolen food.
It's not stolen. It's just selectively available.
Right. I'm gonna go select something available from the rack myself. See you later, Miho.
Bye, Lena.
Sure enough, she plucks a muffin from the display case on her way to the back of the store. I take a bite of the croissant, getting strawberries and cream all over my hand. It's as messy as it is delicious. Oh, sus. Aspen reaches up and wipes away a dollop of cream from my nose.
Go sit down and I'll bring you something to drink. What would you like?
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to do that.
I want to, though. What'll you have?
Well... another foxtail latte, please.
Of course. I don't even have to ask.
Is that cannibalism?
It is my drink, after all.
Yes, I'm well aware. And I'll have it right out.
I carry my croissant to my favourite seat by the table and sit down, enjoying the familiar view. It's changed a bit since I first sat down here half a year ago, but it's still mostly the same on the outside. With only a couple weeks left until the new year, people bustle about outside, trying to make the best of what's left of this one. I think I've begun to understand why it's important to people. Why it's worth numbering the years when you'll only get to see so many of them. Now she's getting it. I spot Aspen approaching, carrying a drink in each hand. I move my plate out of the way to make room for her as she sits down.
Here you are, a foxtail latte for its namesake.
Welcome all regulars to the Yuri stream. I recognize most of your names here.
Thanks! It's delicious!
You haven't even tried it yet.
So? I don't need to. I just know.
It has been a hit with the customers too, I must say. More than any of the other beverages I've created. Clearly I have my wonderful muse to thank for that. You've left a mark on this place too.
That's why I get them for free forever, right?
Or as long as I'm working here at least. You know, maybe Lena was a little bit right about me abusing my powers.
I won't tell her you said that.
Good.
There's a growing list of things not to tell Lena. Aspen takes a sip of her own drink and looks impressed.
Damn, that is good.
Yes, chat, this is gay. She removes the lid to let it cool, which isn't something I've seen her do before.
What are you doing after this? I'm only on a 5, by the way.
Lucky
That's
bastard.
fine. I'll probably just head back to the library. I don't have much else to do today.
Jealous?
Why? What about you?
I'm only working half my shift here today. After lunch, I'm going to the new store to help Regina with some final inspections, and then doing interviews for new hires. It's a lot.
Okay, I take that back. She's not lucky.
You're doing all of that in one day?
There aren't that many days left. We should have been done with hiring already, but one person changed his mind last minute. So now...
Don't worry, the VODs will still be there, so if you want to catch up on the full story, that's always an option. You can land an aeroplane on those ears. She trails off and ends with a sigh, a combination I know all too well.
Well, I could go on, but I won't. Who would have thought opening a brand new restaurant would be so much work?
Although she laughs, I can't help but feel a little concerned. Although it's been over a month since Aspen decided to take a break from writing, it's still way too soon for her to be overworking herself again.
Are you sure you're gonna be alright? I mean, you're gonna be this busy until it opens, right?
If not busier, yes. It won't be fun, but I'll manage.
I've heard that one before, you know.
I know. I mean it though. Really. The soft opening is in 10 days. Even after that, there'll be plenty to do. Maybe more than there is now. But eventually things will settle down, and I don't have to sell my soul in the process too. That's the big difference. I can handle being tired. It was the dread and anxiety that I couldn't take.
Compared to before, there's something different in the way Aspen speaks. When she would talk about her writing and how she felt, it was obvious that she didn't believe the words she was saying. But now, I can tell from the light in her eyes that she means it.
Okay. You're pretty determined, huh?
I am. It felt good to make my mind up about something. I want to give it my very best, so that I can feel good when I look back on it too. Besides, I'd say that growing the new Bell House into Wellington's most popular cafe would be a more than adequate way to be remembered. But I'll settle for it being a hidden gem too.
You watching on 2 times speed, Judson? Are you a fucking time traveler?
As long as you're selling strawberry croissants and foxtail lattes, I don't see how it could be anything else.
Hopefully. Word of mouth from the first few days will be very important. If we fail to make a good first impression, then it could be hard to recover.
You're worrying too much. Everyone already loves the Bell House. I'm sure they'll love yours too.
Me? Worry too much? No way.
Uh-huh.
She's a girl failure, remember that, guys.
Well, you're probably right. Besides, I have a great team too. With their help, I'm sure it'll turn out okay.
That's more like it. You and Lena are gonna do great.
I can't let her show me up after all, especially as the store manager. Oh god, I really am starting to sound like her.
That's another one for the list, right?
Naturally. Speaking of Lena, I need to get back to work. I'm busy this afternoon, but I'm free tomorrow after work.
I'm always free when you are.
It's a date then.
It's a date then. Alright, see you later, Michael. We say goodbye with a kiss like usual before Aspen has to leave. I finish up the last couple bites of my croissant on my own, watching out the window. At one point, even the Bell House wasn't here. I don't know what was, but it's hard for me to picture it as anything else. At one point, it was just someone's dream, an idea or a half-formed concept. It took a lot to turn that into the little restaurant that I know and love today. For the new Bell House, Aspen will be responsible for the start of its story, for making it more than just a dream. I have a lot of faith in her, though. Aspen's great at stories. Seeing her enthusiasm and determination return is such a relief. Her path forward is clear, at least for now. I'm glad for her, I really am. Still, I can't help but wish I had something like that for myself too. A goal to work towards, or a dream to fulfill. At first, Juliet let me work at the library so that I could have some structure in my everyday life, and to get more used to being around other people, but that's not something I need as much anymore. I don't mind my job, but the fact that I'm here right now, and come and go whenever I feel like it, kind of proves that what I do there isn't 100% necessary. Still, it's home. It's a place to go back to while I figure out what's next. So after cleaning up my trash and finishing my drink, that's exactly what I do. At breakfast, Juliet and I set up the table, and she prepares a place for 3 people like usual.
I forgot to tell you. Aspen won't be here today.
Oh, I see. Is everything all right?
Yeah, she's just busy. She said she doesn't know how often she'll be able to come by until the new Bell House opens.
I understand. She must have a lot of responsibilities to take care of right now.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about how much work she has to do. I still am. But she's pretty confident in herself. So maybe it'll be okay.
It's only natural that you'd be concerned. You care about her a lot. I'm sure she's glad that you worry about her, even when she tells you not to. I have faith in her too. When Aspen puts her mind to something, she's unstoppable. One of my earliest memories with her came from her first visit to the library, when she was trying to find a certain book on the shelves. Only it wasn't there, because I was reading it at the time and had it in my room. She asked if she could borrow it, promising to return it the next day. I told her she could take more time with it, but she stayed up all night reading it and brought it back like she promised. It wasn't a short book by any means either. I imagine she's treating her new role with similar focus and determination, which is why I'm sure she'll succeed in the end.
Yeah, you're right. I can't spend all my time worrying about her. I have to trust her to live her life too. Even though I said that last time, I understand it better this time.
That's good. It can be a difficult lesson to learn.
That's for sure.
Juliet laughs, and then we start to eat. It is a little quiet without Aspen, or even the sound of her silverware, especially since for Juliet, having a meal is entirely symbolic anyway. I try to eat fast just to get it over with. We finish and clean up. Juliet lingers around the kitchen for a bit in the way that means that she has something to say. Sure enough, once everything else is done, she clears her throat.
Miho, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Sure. What's up?
Earlier this morning, I saw that I'd received a reply to a message that I never expected to be answered. A couple months ago, I managed to find someone online that I thought might be related to your friend Ying, and reached out to confirm. They never got back to me, and so I didn't mention it to you. But then today, she finally responded and said that yes, they are distant relatives. She said that if you'd like to talk with her, she'd be happy to tell you a bit about Xiangying, or at least what she knows. Is that something you'd like to do?
Oh. Wow. I guess you wouldn't be shocked that I never even thought about them maybe having a family.
I thought that might be the case. You're welcome to think about it and get back to me later.
In my mind, Zhongyin was always alone, but with me. They belonged to the forest and to the rest of the world equally. But it makes sense that they weren't really alone, that they had people who loved them too. It hits me that there's so much I don't know about Zhongyin. Really, I barely know anything. Every minute shared with me only represented a very small part of their life. In a sense, they may as well be a stranger. I'm a little afraid that knowing more about them could change how I feel about them too. But I decided that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'd rather know more about who they really were.
Nah, I don't need to. I'd like to talk to her.
Wonderful. I'll let her know then. I believe she's in America, so our times are fairly different. Shall I see if tomorrow evening would work?
Sure, that sounds good. Thanks. And thanks for tracking her down and messaging her in the first place.
It's my pleasure. It's what I specialize in, after all. I'll let you know tonight if I hear back from her.
Okay. I'm going to see Aspen when she gets off work, but I'll be back sometime this evening.
I'll see you then. Have a great day, Miho.
Have a good sleep.
There's a lot that I'm looking forward to talking about with Aspen today. I set myself up in the library and take care of my chores like usual, but it's hard to think about anything else. The afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets off work, instead of staying indoors at her apartment or at the library. She tells me all about her day at work, and in exchange, I tell her about my upcoming call.
Wow! Juliet's incredible, isn't she? I had no idea she was setting that up.
Me either. It was a total surprise. She said she sent the message a long time ago, though, and it took months before she got a response.
Well, I can certainly empathize with that. At least in this case, the response turned out to be a good one.
Hopefully. I'm a little bit nervous, though.
About what?
Just about what they might say. What if it turns out Zhongyin is totally different from what I thought? What if they were actually a terrible person?
Then that would be true whether you knew it or not. They do say ignorance is bliss for a reason. If I were you, though, I would want to know the truth no matter what.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something without worrying about it the whole time.
If you figure out the secret, let me know.
See you later, Kenny. Enjoy the VOD.
Lena sure isn't sharing it. I think she's somewhere around here too. At least she mentioned that before she clocked out.
Is that why we're here?
Not at all. I adore Lena, but I'll be spending more time with her than without her for the next month. I just wanted to appreciate the fresh air before I forget what it's like.
Put a ton of plants in your bell house too! Did you know that plants help us breathe? I just learned that on TV!
I was aware, but I'm glad for you. Plants are on the list though. I also want to put in a reading corner with a small library for people to browse while they visit. Regina's allowing me to set it up and decorate how I see fit, so I'm being as self-indulgent as I can.
A cafe with a library in it? That sounds perfect for you! Where would you get the books from? Juliet?
I was planning to ask her for some, yes, as well as a few from my own collection, and Lena's, and anyone else who'd like to donate.
Have we already seen all of Dad's scenes? I think we're missing one.
Maybe Juliet would even let us share books, so you can return them at either place.
How would you keep track of it? Would you hire someone to do it?
Well, I happen to know a certain someone who's very experienced in that position.
No, okay, the dad part's a joke. It's not actually their dad or anything.
But no, we would simply have to use the honor system, like Juliet used to.
I still don't get how she doesn't worry about people stealing them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
I think it makes sense. Maybe it's even impossible to steal from a library. After all, they're meant for sharing books.
Yeah, Mr. Kim. Everyone in chat started calling him Dad at some point.
If you take one home and give it to a friend instead of returning it, it still served its purpose. Or if you hold on to it for years and then only return it much later, you still returned it. That's the beauty of books. They can always wait. My New Year's resolution is to get through at least half of my backlog, personally.
Your New Year what?
Resolution. It's like a goal that you set for yourself for the year. And then usually give up on by February, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh my god.
That
Her
sounds
attitude.
neat. Did you have one this year?
I did. It was to finish and hopefully release a book. It may not have come true, but I'm happy with the outcome, all the same.
I should try to think of one for next year myself. Maybe I'll try to get through half my reading backlog too.
Do you have one of those?
Nope. So I'm doing good already.
She's cheating the system.
Maybe it'll be to read 10 books. Or 100 books. I don't know what a good number to try is.
Probably somewhere in between. You don't have to make it about reading, though. You don't have to make one at all if you don't want to. Only if it helps motivate you.
I'll think about it. I've been thinking that I need something else to do with my life as it is.
Something else?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the library's fine and all. But I'm not really excited about it the same way you are about the Bell House. Yesterday, I was thinking about how Juliet doesn't need me to help her. She just gave me the job as a favor, even if she said otherwise. I don't really need that favor anymore, though.
You've outgrown it.
Yeah. I have other things I can rely on.
One of them links arms with me. Oh, isn't that so sweet?
Always.
Okay. That was really cute. Not far away, there's an empty bench alongside the path, and Aspen leads us to it so we can sit down. We've been walking for almost an hour now, so a break is nice. Aspen takes off her hat and sets her purse on the ground between us, while I stretch out my legs. We're not the only ones out here enjoying the afternoon. The park's alive and bustling. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, and skaters all dodge around each other, plus the regular pedestrians like Astrid and me. Some of the dogs even run around off their leashes, ditching the road entirely. People are playing all kinds of sports too, and I can even tell the difference between some of them by now. I'm still a bit confused on what football is though. I even spot Lena, though she doesn't see us. Aspen pokes me in the side.
Oh, look over there. Think he's lost?
Across from us, a dog is sniffing around. There's a break in the foot traffic around us for now, so I don't see anyone watching him.
His owner's probably around here somewhere. Maybe he ran ahead of them.
The dog looks over at us, like he knows we're talking about him. He takes a couple steps towards us, sniffing the air, with his tail wagging just a little bit.
Oh, come here. Here, puppy.
The puppy, Aspen's right about that, slowly creeps towards Aspen's outstretched hand. I still sit, not wanting to spook him. He seems friendly, but cautious. 1 step, 2 steps. He never stops sniffing. Then he runs forward, bites the hand of Aspen's purse, and takes off with it. Gangster dog! Aspen jumps to her feet.
Hey! Stop! Come here!
Criminal scum! The dog doesn't even look back as it runs away, dragging Aspen's purse with it. The contents start to spill out as they go. I run after the puppy, who's going further into the park, not wasting my breath shouting. I've been running way too much these past couple months. I could transform, but I think that would probably scare him even more. I know better than to chase a dog, but I don't have much other choice. I hope I can just wear him out and then catch him. Glancing back, I see Aspen falling behind me, gathering up everything that she can. The puppy also looks back at me every now and then, changing directions at random. Some of the other people who see us lunge for the dog will try to block him off, but he dodges all of them and keeps running. I'm a little impressed. He zigzags again, but this time it's lucky for me. He's heading straight towards Lena.
Hey, Lena!
She spins around to see me, and I can tell she's trying to process what's happening. The dog is closer to her than he is to me.
Catch him!
Luckily, my words get through. Lena crouches, already warmed up. The puppy sees her and starts to go in a different direction away from both of us.
Not so fast!
Lena jumps for him and flaps her wings to carry herself even farther. She crashes to the ground just in front of the dog, who scrambles over himself to just try and stop and turn.
Gotcha.
I reach them just in time to grab him by the scruff of his neck. He immediately drops Aspen's purse, like a thief who's been caught. Not that I would know. Aspen herself is slowly approaching, her arms full as she tries not to drop anything.
Not quite how I expected to end my workout today.
Thank you, Lena. You're literally a lifesaver.
Thank you, Wrangler.
Whoa! Aspen said literally! That means it's serious.
Linus, I'm sorry to say that there's about 15 hours worth of visual novel that I'm assuming you haven't seen yet, so it'd be a lot to catch you up. I make sure Aspen's purse is safe before I let go of the puppy, who's been tossing and turning in my arms. Aspen walks up and wags a finger at him.
And as for you, hasn't anyone taught you any manners?
The dog walks away from us, but not very far, so we can watch instead. He reminds me a little bit of Silver. I hope he doesn't turn into a person.
I've seen that dog around before. Pretty sure he's a stray. I haven't heard of him taking anyone's stuff like that, though.
Got anything good in your purse?
Not if you're a dog. There's just...
While digging around in her now refilled purse, Aspen stops and then pulls out a smushed plastic wrapper.
I guess there's the other half of my lunch that I forgot about.
The dog wags his tail and barks in Aspen's direction, and she frowns.
This is what you were after, wasn't it? It really wasn't that good, I promise.
Lena isn't wearing earmuffs, she just has that hair because she's meant to be a swan person. She unwraps the remnants of a sandwich and tosses it to the dog, who gobbles it down in just a couple bites before looking at us for more. If he's a stray like Lena said, that could be the best meal he's had in days.
That's all I have.
Lena and I are both empty-handed.
What should we do with him? What if he's not a stray and someone's looking for him?
They must not be looking very hard. I've seen him a couple days in a row now.
Poor thing. He seems so friendly when he isn't running off with my things.
I stoop down to try pet him, and he lets me. He even licks my hand a couple times.
Maybe we can take him back to the library with us. Juliet might know what to do.
Well, she is known for helping strays. Not sure how we'd get him back there, though.
Unintentional roast. Or it was probably intentional knowing Aspen.
I can carry him. He doesn't look too heavy.
Carry him?
Yeah, why not? If he'll let me pick him up, at least.
Just... please be careful.
I will.
I crouch down and approach him slowly, keeping my hands out for him to sniff. I also try to wag my own tail to help reassure him. That's really funny to imagine. Instead of running away, he just flops onto his back, asking for a belly rub. I do that with one hand while I slide the other beneath him. He's so lean that I can see his ribs. Then I scoop him up. He woofs in surprise, but doesn't try to escape. Once I get him situated, he's pretty calm.
That wasn't so bad.
Alex, Lena, the swan girl right there, is actually straight, so get wrecked. Both Aspen and Lena crowd in to pet him now that he can't get away. He sits there and takes it all in stride.
Okay, he's not that heavy, but let's get going anyway.
Alright, I'll text Juliet so that she isn't totally blindsided when we get there. See you tomorrow, Lena.
Later, boss! Later, mijo! Oh, later, puppy!
Still leaning against my shoulder, the dog doesn't mind when Aspen moves his paw to wave goodbye to Lena. Although the dog starts to squirm at some point, I manage to carry him all the way home. He sheds and definitely smells like a stray dog, but I don't mind it too much. He can't help it after all. Aspen also holds him a couple times. For some reason, he's more antsy with her than with me, so her turns don't last as long. When we arrive at the library, Juliet's waiting just inside.
Oh my, isn't he precious?
Puppy thumps his tail against my chest as Juliet comes over to pet him. People just can't stop themselves from doing that, I guess.
Let's take him upstairs.
I don't want to set him down here with the last few library patrons and all the books. Other than his initial chase, he's been pretty calm. But that could change once he's recharged. We all go to my room, where I finally put the dog on the floor. He starts sniffing around immediately, although there isn't that much to sniff. I watch for any signs of trouble, but he's good.
I like him a lot more when he isn't robbing me.
He just didn't know how to ask politely.
There's a half full glass of water on my desk, and I set it down on the ground so the dog can drink some. He slurps up as much as he can, the glass too big for his tongue to reach all of it.
I'll go fetch a bowl of water and see if we have anything that would be safe for him to eat. And then we can talk about what to do with him.
Aspen sits down on my bed, but I sit on the floor, and the dog walks over to sniff me.
Seems he's already taken a liking to you.
His fur is stiff and coarse, and he's bony. He can't be that old, which makes me think he must have spent most of his short life as a stray. Juliet returns soon, setting the water and also a bowl with some banana slices, bread, and a slice of cheese.
It's not the healthiest meal, but it should keep his belly full for a little bit.
The dog digs in like he didn't eat just half a sandwich earlier. The bowl slides across the floor from the force of his munching, and he smacks his lips while he tries to chew the banana.
Is it okay if he stays here for a while? I'll take care of him. Even if it's just until we find his real owner, if he has one. I don't want to just kick him back out.
Oh, heavens! I wouldn't dream of just tossing him back out on the street. But taking care of a pet, even for a couple of days, is a lot of work. Are you sure?
I'm sure. Whatever it is, I'll do it.
I've only had this puppy around for a couple hours, but I already know that I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Scrounging for food, stealing, not having anywhere to go back to. They're all things I can relate to.
I don't see why not, then. I'll keep an eye out as well for anyone who may be searching for a lost dog like him.
Thanks. I don't think he has any people, though. I think he's all on his own.
You may be right. Still, we should do our best to make sure.
Right. I'll look out for any posters or missing signs.
After he finishes his meal, the dog flops down by me. He stares at me, but doesn't move, instead fighting to keep his eyes open. Now that he's eaten more, he does seem totally exhausted. Thank you very much, Half Scrub, for the $10. Thanks for sharing this game. Thank you, everyone, for actually watching this with me. I actually really appreciate it. This game's really special to me, so I'm glad I get to share it. Even if it's not with, like, all my audience, that's fine. Just a couple of you makes me really happy. Is my stream okay? What the fuck was that? Okay, I think we're good.
He must be in doggy paradise right now after spending a few days in the park. I know I sure would be.
I look up at Juliet, smiling.
Yeah. I think he'll like staying here.
Thank you, Monolingual. Thank you, Shazam. Around sundown that evening, I grab my fishing pole and make my way to the waterfront. Juliet agreed to look after the dog while I'm gone, even though I could be out for hours. It's finally time. This morning, I got a call from Mr. Kim, saying that the King of the Ocean had been spotted close by yesterday, and that he should be passing by Wellington tonight. After months of waiting, or a whole year of it in Mr. Kim's case, we'll get our chance at seeing the legendary fish. Down by the bay, there are a lot more fishers out than usual. Some have tents and chairs set up, while others only brought their gear. Mr. Kim is waiting on the pier like usual.
Good to see you, mijo. Feeling lucky today?
I sure hope so. It's packed out there.
Sure is. Tonight's one of those nights that we fishermen dream of.
How long do you think it'll be until he gets here?
Hard to say. There's a whole network of folks who watch the waters all up and down the coast, and they'll give us a ring if anyone spots him. But there's no guarantee that he'll be close enough to see. Sometimes he passes through deeper waters before coming inland somewhere else.
So, what you're saying is we could be here all night.
It's a certain possibility. Sleepiness has ended many an angler's quest to spot the king. If you have to go early, I'll understand.
Are you gonna stay out here the whole time?
If that's what it takes. Or if I hear that he skipped over us this year.
I'll stay too. I've waited this long to see him. I can't just give up at the end.
Thank you, Magnus Silla, for the 20 dono. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have been enjoying this game.
That's the spirit. I've got coffee and black tea to help keep sleep away.
That's a really nice CG, actually. We walk to the end of the pier and sit down, keeping our rods close by. The setting sun makes for a beautiful sky that I tilt my head up to admire. Mr. Kim does the same.
Mother Nature sure knows how to paint, doesn't she?
It's a little chilly, especially out here on the water, and I wrap my arms around myself to stay warm.
If we don't catch him this year, will you try again next year?
Of course. And again, and again.
What if we do get him?
I think once is enough for me. Beyond that, I'll just be getting greedy. You can bet I'll still be out here, though, even if I'm not fishing for the king.
I don't know if I'd be able to keep trying for as long as you have.
Oh? Why's that? It's easy. You just start, and then you don't stop. I'd like to catch the king, of course, but I've come to enjoy the waiting just as much. It's something to look forward to. If I miss him, I'm disappointed, of course, but it just means that I get to try for another year.
When I first started fishing, I thought all the waiting around was pretty boring. I kind of get it now, though.
Thank you, Dark Tangent, for the 10. This dono is for Mr. Kim. Please send it his way. I'll be sure to do so. Thank you very much. He'll appreciate it. He'll put it towards the King Fund.
There's an understanding between us fisher folk and the sea, I think. It's give and take on both sides.
What do you give to the ocean?
Time. Patience. Like any friend, it needs attention for your relationship to grow. Whether that's cleaning up garbage from the shores or teaching someone to appreciate the joys of fishing.
The two of us sit together for hours, trading stories about the places we've been. Mr. Kim tells me about Korea, where he comes from, and I tell him about mine. He even pulls out a thermos of Mongtang spicy fish stew for us to share. It's as delicious as the dinner he shared with me a couple months ago. As the evening winds on, a lot of the fishers waiting by the shore gradually get up and go home. I guess they must be getting tired of waiting. Philosophy Simulator 2024? Yeah, basically. The story's fucking beautiful. Mr. Kim and I pass some of the time by fishing for other things or walking around to give our legs a break. As twilight starts to come to an end, my ears twitch, picking up the sound of distant shouting. It starts off far away, probably too far for Mr. Kim to hear, but when he notices me tilting my head to listen, he walks over. The shouting starts to get louder as it gets closer. It's not one person yelling, but a chain of them, the message being carried along the coast.
He's here! They spotted the king!
All up and down the beach, the fishers are hopping to their feet and casting their lines. Some of those who were in the middle of leaving hurry back to the shore.
He's here!
Mr. Kim's voice echoes along as he passes along the news to the people on our other side.
Let's go, mijo!
Both of us cast our lines out, and I lean forward to try to get a glimpse of the fish himself.
Where is he?
He could be anywhere. Keep an eye out!
Kim shades his eyes with one hand to search around, and I can see other fishers doing the same. I wonder how far away from here the king was actually spotted. With how many people are waiting for him, the news could have come from pretty far away. The ocean looks the same as ever to me, lapping gently against the pier where we were standing. Occasionally, someone reels in a normal fish, but nothing out of the ordinary. Suddenly, I notice something sparkling in the water, several meters away from where we are. What the fuck? Game is like, did my stream just crash? Wait. Is everything okay? Did it crash? What the fuck? Wait. Okay, chat, I don't know if the stream's still working, but my PC is shitting the bed, so... Oh my fucking god, yeah, I need a restart. I think my computer needs a restart, one sec. Let me save this. I'll try, one sec. Apparently it's like, OBS seems to be fine, but I think, yeah, like Chrome's completely shit the bed. I need to check my phone to make sure the stream's still going on. 1 second, chat. I'm just gonna see if I'm still live on YouTube. I'm gonna check my phone because Chrome's not fucking working. Okay, it says I'm still live. Let me see what's going on. I can check chat on my phone. So if the stream's still okay, I will just check chat on my phone. So I'm assuming it's still working. Half the screen is black. Yeah, I think that's something with the game. You can hear it? Like, is the stream okay? If the stream's okay, I'll just keep going. Because I can just check on my phone, even if Chrome's not working. Hello, Steve. Hello, Steve. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going, because I think it'll be fine. Yeah, stream's fine? Yeah, the stream's fine. Stream's not working? Okay. Yeah, okay. I think the stream's fine. I'll just have to check chat on my phone. It's alright. We can continue. I tug on Mr. Kim's shoulder to get his attention and point.
Hey, is that?
The sparkling disappears and doesn't resurface. Both of us watch with bated breath, ready to start reeling at the first sign of a bite.
There!
Mr. Kim stabs a finger towards the sea, and I watch the spot he's pointing at. Sure enough, I see that light again. This time, it's close enough to see the vague shape of a fish, but not enough to see clearly.
The king!
The glittering fish slowly comes closer, moving in short bursts. Sometimes it dashes off in another direction, then wriggles back towards us. Finally, it comes into view. The king of the ocean swims in front of us, 4 long whiskers streaming from his face. His scales are shades of beautiful blue and purple, but shine with other colours too as the sunlight hits him. He's bigger than any fish I've ever seen. but still smaller than a person. Swimming just below the surface, his top fin sometimes breaks through the water. I get a good glimpse of his big eyes as he passes us by, and the sparkle disappears as he dives deeper on his way.
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed! I've never seen him that close before. This must be my lucky day after all.
Even though he didn't stop for us, my heart races with the thrill of seeing the king at all.
That was worth the wait.
He was so far out that I bet a lot of the fishermen on the shore didn't get to see him at all.
Glad you think so. Well, I wonder where he'll be.
Mr. Kim cuts off mid-sentence as we both see the same thing. The sparkle of the king's scales reappear near the pier. The king comes closer and closer, then dives down again and disappears. Mr. Kim and I look at each other. I hold my breath as if moving could spook the fish. Seconds pass, then a minute. Then I feel a tug.
I've got a bite!
Reel it in, mijo!
I try, but the fish on the other end is fighting back. I have to hold on tight just to avoid having the fish rod yanked out of my hands.
I need help!
Mr. Kim comes to my side and grabs the handle too. Both of us work together to pull and reel, and slowly, I feel us start to gain ground. The two of us brace ourselves, and then both pull as hard as we can. With a huge splash, the king breaks through the surface of the water, dangling from the end of our line. He hangs there for a moment, looking at us like he's judging us. Then the two of us stare back in silent awe as I realize something. The king let us win. After only a couple seconds, he opens his mouth and spits out the lure, freeing himself and plunging back into the ocean. All that remains are the ripples, and in a moment, even those are gone too. Other fishers who saw that happened start to gather around, congratulating us and cursing us. Mr. Kim handles all the praise with a smile and a laugh, while I try to stay to the side and avoid as much attention as I can. It takes a while for the crowd to disperse before finally leaving us alone.
Well, mijo, we did it!
So normally there is a illustration of the king. I'm just wondering if my game was glitching out. That would have explained why half the screen was black in game.
Yeah. I can't believe he came back to us.
Maybe he didn't like the look of what they were serving farther up the shore. Either way, thanks for helping an old dream come true.
I ought to thank you. Besides, we reeled him in together.
That we did. My wife will never believe it. I guess that's what I get for exaggerating about the size of some of my past catches. That's alright, though. You and I will both know the truth.
Yeah. Plus the 7 years of good luck, right?
Oh, that's true. I'd almost forgotten. Maybe it'll only be 3.5 for each of us, though.
After the scene ends, I'll go back to the main menu and see if the king appeared in the library, like in the gallery.
I'd say that's more than enough.
Because there's a chance we've already unlocked it.
Yeah, me too.
The sun has fully gone down by the time Mr. Kim and I pack up to head home. Before he climbs onto his bike, he gives me one last wave.
Well, we won't be preparing for the king, but will I see you down at the fishing spot again?
Of course! I've still got a whole lot more to learn.
That's the spirit. Until next time, mijo.
See you later!
Alright. Scene's over, so I'll make a little save-a-rooney, and I'll go back to title, and I'll see if the king appeared in the gallery at all.
Oh, what's in here?
Gallery. Oh my golly goodness, I can't fucking find it. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the art book for you guys. Oh wait, it's a PDF. And Chrome is still... There's I remember there being a fish, CG. That's the thing. I remember seeing one. Okay. Let's see if this works. Because there's definitely, like, an image of him in the art book, and I remember seeing it in my first playthrough. Well, second playthrough, because I didn't do Mr. Kim's arc on my first playthrough. Oh my fucking god, this shit is not working. Maybe I can open it through something else. Open with... Okay guys, I'm gonna open it with Microsoft Edge. Let's see if this works. Yeah, Chrome's completely shit the bed. Let's see this. Is this gonna work? I can restart if I need to. Yeah, I'd rather not, like, end the stream though, because then I'll have to... Yeah, fucking hell. We'll keep going. We'll just keep going, because the game seems to be working. I think. Where the fuck did the game go? There it is. Yeah, none of my browsers fucking work right now. I'm gonna have to, like, restart my computer at the end of the stream. But the game's working, so we'll just get through the game. I don't know why I can't... Yeah, I don't know why. It's not fucking working. Okay, return.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
When I wake up, the dog is already awake and staring at me from the floor, ready to go. The two of us go downstairs and join Juliet for breakfast, where she's prepared another bowl of fruit and bread for the dog. He eats it, but even if he's only going to be here for a couple days, he'll need more than people food.
I think I'm gonna go buy some dog food for him. I can get that at most stores, right?
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult to find.
I check my wallet. I have plenty of money since Juliet pays me for my library work, but there's hardly ever anything I need to buy myself. This will be as good a use as any.
Do you mind watching him while I go?
Not at all.
The game is called Please Be Happy, so if you can find it, if you can find the CG, like I've seen it before.
Thanks.
I kneel down and pet the dog's head. I've already learned one of his favourite spots, right at the base of his ears, and give him a good scratch.
Okay, stay here with Juliet, alright?
I really am turning into Aspen with how much I talk to the dog. Although he stays put for a moment, he follows me to the front door before I can leave. I gently push him back with my foot.
No, you can't come with me.
The dog paws at my leg, looking at me expectantly. Once more, I let him outside to relieve himself, but even after he finishes that, he won't go back into the library without me.
You're not gonna take no for an answer, are you?
Sighing, I accept my fate. I let Juliet know about the change of plans, and then the dog and I start walking. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff something, but he always returns. I've left okay, if you guys want to know what the game is, in the description I have the link to the Steam store page. It's called Please Be Happy. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff something, but he always returns. Each time he starts to walk away, I feel a tinge of worry that he won't come back. But the possibility is just something that I have to accept. Even if some details of my past have gotten hazy for me, I can still clearly remember how it feels to need to run and escape. If the dog decides that's what he needs to do, then it's not my place to stop him. Still, I'm relieved every time he stops sniffing and returns to my side. Eventually, we get into town, and I find a pet store. There's a sign on the window saying that dogs are allowed inside, which is what I was hoping for. A bell rings, and when we walk in... Oh, sorry. A bell rings when we walk in, although it doesn't sound as pretty as the one at the Bell House. I wander around until I find the dog food section. I can't wait for the sequel, please shut up, chat. There are more choices here than I thought. Big bags, small bags, red bags, blue bags. I'm not sure which one to pick. The dog sniffs each of them in turn. I watch to see if one gets his interest more than the others, but it doesn't seem like he's picky. I try to find one which has the most similar looking dog on the front. Oh, mood.
Guess I'll go with this one.
On the way to the front, the dog veers off down another aisle, and I follow behind to see what's got his attention. Of course, it's the toy aisle. Just like in the food section, there are dozens on display. He sniffs them all even more furiously than the kibble. There's a small basket of plastic toys on the ground, and he pulls one out with his mouth. It looks like a cartoon squirrel, and its tail squeaks when he bites it. He gives it a good shake, getting a few more squeaks in the process. His tail wags even faster than his head, and he looks up at me eagerly. I reach for the toy, but he hops away and then crashes down, tail still going, daring me to try to take it off him. I do, but he instantly jumps out of reach once more, shaking and squeaking the toy again too.
Okay, you can keep it. But come on, I gotta pay.
What the fuck has happened? Oh my god. What's going on with my PC? Oh my... Okay, Steam's shitting the bed. But the game is fine. Yeah, the game's fine. It's just Steam. Okay. It's been a long time since I've stolen anything. Not that I can actually pay- Now that I can actually pay for things, I can't see myself stealing again. I feel kind of guilty about things I took in the past, but I only ever did what I had to in order to survive. Once I had support from others in my life, and the help I needed to get my feet on the ground, stealing stopped being something I felt like I had to do. If it does it again, I will restart. At the counter, I use 2 fingers to hold the slobbery toy so the cashier can scan it, before returning it to the dog. I tuck the bag of the food under one arm, and then we start walking home. We reach a crosswalk, arriving right at the light change to send traffic across our path. I come to a halt while I wait, switching which arm I use to carry the bag since it's getting sore. But the puppy doesn't stop with me. Instead, he doesn't even look back as he runs out into the road, eager to get back to the library. A car horn blares as it barrels towards us down the road, too close to be able to brake in time. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion as I drop the bag of food and dash out into the road, despite knowing how dumb that is. I grab the dog as I sprint by, barely hauling ourselves out of the way of the passing car. The driver, understandably, gives me a rude gesture as he goes by. The dog, meanwhile, looks at me as if offended by the rough treatment, with my hand still holding him tightly.
You dummy! You could have died right there!
The squirrel toy in his mouth squeaks as he squirms in my grasp. That was way too close for comfort. If it had just been one step farther away, I would have been too late to rescue the dog. I probably would have gotten myself hit for my troubles too. Behind us and across the street, the bag of food lies on its side, some kibble strewn across the ground from a spot where it tore when I dropped it. Whether the dog wants to run away or stay with me is up to him, but I can't just let himself get hurt, or worse. I only have one choice. I hoist the dog up and hold him with one arm, just like the dog food bag that I go back and retrieve before we start walking again. He doesn't squirm as much as he did yesterday, which helps a lot, but still, by the time we make it back to the library, both my arms feel like they're gonna fall off. When I set the dog down, he strolls up to the library door as if nothing happened, waiting for me to let him in. I guess in his mind, maybe nothing did happen. He's got no clue how lucky he was. A long time ago, Juliet said that sometimes your best is all you can do. That goes for puppies too. If I'd been born a city dog instead of a fox, I doubt I'd be much different either. Still, I have to think it's a miracle that any dog makes it to adulthood, especially strays like him. Okay, sorry chat, the game's crashed now. Time for a restart. Can I save? No, just let me save. Let me save, and I'll restart, please. Oh, no. Okay.